Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the Carolina Panthers. With that, it's time for Super Bowl 55, as we'll get you over to Tampa. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Make it a good one, gents.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Buffalo Bills taking on the champions from the NFC, the Carolina Panthers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and it is our extreme privilege to be on hand for the Super Bowl. And I can't help but look down on this field, partner, and think about the history of this game and all the great players, all the great teams that have stood on the field for this moment. So special.
This game is so historic that while we call it the Super Bowl now, that wasn't even the name of the first couple. It's the AFL NFL World Championship game before the Super Bowl really took hold. And think about the Green Bay Packers winning the first two that got us kicked off and started towards where we are today.
And with the whole world watching, at the end of this game, at the end of tonight, one of these two sides, they get to etch their name in NFL immortality.
No doubt about it. They hold up the ultimate symbol of victory in this league, the Lombardi Trophy.
All right, welcome back. We've got the Super Bowl here. It might not be the Super Bowl the networks necessarily would have wanted, the Bills from Buffalo and Carolina, but this should be a battle as we look to cement our names in football lore. And our first moment is successful. We get to play every play of the moment of this game, so a good stop there right away. Let's keep going. 7-0, we drive. We are driving again. What a start. By the way, DJ Moore does go up to Superstar X Factor after his wide receiver of the year type of season. So a nice boost to the offense there and a nice completion here on first down. McCaffrey doing his thing out of the backfield. Wow, McCaffrey fighting for about 7 yards, showing that he's not just a speed outside threat, although we are going to give him a toss here. Something that worked really well for us against the Saints. Let's keep that going. Fights into the end zone, and we take a 2-score lead early on. Let's go. Oh my God. This team is just balling out. First and goal from the 1. And McCaffrey's too fast. They can't catch him. And we're driving again. This is a pretty anticlimactic blowout right now. We got third down. Oh. Good read by 24. First incompletion of the game. Trevor Lawrence. Oh my God, a performance for a lifetime. All right, 2-minute drill. I don't know how this defense is playing so well, but this Bills team is really struggling right now. We do have the full field to go here. Got to be careful there. Oh no, they gave him the safety there? Looked like Tre'Davious White was following DJ Moore around, and he faked to the inside. We threw the bubble, and a great reaction time now. Is that something we can challenge? No, of course not. It's in the 2-minute warning, and it's Madden. So a little spark plug for the Bills. They're going to go down and get a touchdown before half. Wow, okay, so now it's getting interesting. Red zone alert, though. We have a big chance to kind of answer here. Not going to say put this game away, but definitely would go a long way towards that. Spreading them out here like we like to do in this Big 12 offense, and a huge lane, and McCaffrey is just unstoppable. You just can't stop this man. He wants it too much. Third rushing touchdown, probably going to seal Super Bowl MVP for him. And the Bills are going for it here. way overthrows Stephon Diggs. Josh Allen, yuck. They're going to blitz us here on 3rd and 7. I think we can get Ian Thomas here on the slant. And there you go. What a day for Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if you're going to give the Super Bowl MVP to him or Christian McCaffrey. We do have Carson in there now to try and pound this thing out. Our good friend, the no game clock glitch, has returned. 3rd and 7. Don't want to do anything silly here. Just scramble for it. Let's go, Trevor. Man, this Bills team is just not putting up a fight at all. It's almost like beating that Saints team was our Super Bowl. Huge lane for Chris Carson. He puts the power on a little bit. He does get stopped about the 2-yard line. I really want to test how long we could really let this clock run down. Would it really let us go all the way down? I don't get it. I don't know how a glitch like that can be in this game. But a dominating Super Bowl championship for the Panthers in year 2 of Matt Rule's rule. Josh Allen and McDermott are just going to have to wait for their time, as we are now going to set our eyes towards potentially building a dynasty year, looking to avoid the dreaded Super Bowl hangover and really hit the ground hard again next season. We do have a bunch of young and upcoming quarterbacks around the league that are looking to get on our way, that tried to this season already. Trey Lance, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen here, Justin Fields. So that will definitely be exciting as far as our performance here against the Bills. Lawrence was phenomenal. I have no idea who won Super Bowl MVP. I'm assuming it is Trevor Lawrence. It would be really nice if the game would actually tell you these things, but it is what it is. Yetur Gross-Matos comes in with 2.5 sacks in the Super Bowl. A pick for Troy Pride. That might have been his first on the season, but the young players really stepping up in a championship season for the Carolina Panthers. So I thought this entire episode would just be the Super Bowl, but it was such a convincing win that it moved so fast. We might as well keep going and get through the offseason. We don't have a first or a second round pick, so it is going to be a shorter offseason as well. And as we do redirect our attention to what we need to do to continue to get better here, we are going to take a look at our roster. So it does look like Marcus Gilbert's going to retire, which is going to make that left tackle spot a gaping hole. Definitely our biggest need as we head into the offseason here. As far as the defense is concerned, Dante Jackson, he goes up to superstar. I actually don't think that's deserved. I'm going to balance this thing out and actually take that away from him. We can see, though, Shaq Thompson, another phenomenal season. He does go up to Superstar X Factor. I think that's fair, especially after winning Defensive Player of the Week twice in the last 4 weeks leading up to a Super Bowl run. Really balling out for us. McCreary's going to settle in at star, Dev at corner. Free safety and left tackle are going to be our big needs. Now, I don't think there's anyone that we personally need to do a player review sort of thing for, but Kamu Kruger-Hill, who won Defensive Player of the Year for the LA Rams, I think absolutely deserves a massive, massive increase here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. The dude was just racking up tackles, sacks, picks, was everywhere. So we're going to put him up to an 86 overall Superstar X Factor for the LA Rams. What a year for Kamu Kruger-Hill. A freak athlete out of Eastern Illinois who's bounced around the league, but finally finding a good landing spot playing in Corey Littleton's role for that Rams defense. So let's take a look at our renegotiations. Now, Robbie Anderson is up, and he actually regressed a decent bit. Unfortunately, he's going to hit pretty hard, and we have prepared to let him go. He had a solid year. He played well in the Super Bowl, but we are ready to let him go. I don't feel afraid of that at all. Weatherly's contract is up here. Some rotational defensive linemen. Our linebacker depth. Now, Andre Smith, He has not really taken any sort of strides here, but if nothing else, he's a good role player, and if I can get him around on close to a league minimum contract, I'm going to do it, but he wants to test the market. PJ Walker's going to hit the market. Chris Carson, probably the best player set to hit the market here. No need to pay him. He's good, but a bruising power back. No need to really pay up for that. Really not a lot of losses at all, to be honest. It does suck that we lost Okung, and we're going to have to replace that, but we should be pretty poised to turn this thing around. Now, there is one player that we mentioned we would look into trading in the offseason, and that is Teddy Bridgewater. Entering the final year of his contract year, has now won a Super Bowl, but is a massive cap hit, and we know that Trevor Lawrence is our guy. So I am going to look to trade Teddy Bridgewater to a team that would make sense. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, interdivision though, so probably not something we'd want to do. The Colts are certainly looking for a quarterback answer. Jacob Eason is there, but he has not really developed too much. They would be looking for a quarterback heading into year 3. The Cowboys are desperate for a quarterback after letting Dak Prescott go, and they actually had a decent season. It looks like they brought in a veteran that probably retired there. But they have the 17th pick, so they're not going to get a great quarterback at 17. I think that is the spot. I think a third rounder, if you look at previous trades for backups, is pretty fair here. Let's see if they take it. They do, so we do recoup some draft capital and clear up about $20+ million in cap space with that move. A no-brainer decision for us. We're going to head now into the offseason. I suppose we should whip through these upgrades real quick because we got plenty of them. I'm going to kind of talk as we do that, but we're going to head into the offseason here with plenty of room to improve. We don't have a first or a second round pick, but we do have a pair of thirds and plenty of cap space to look at left tackle, free safety. Hopefully we can lure some guys in here, as the culture and potential to win here is definitely appealing to a lot of these free agents. A good upgrade for Jeremy Chin. So we're going to go ahead and advance to stage 1, maybe find some more players to improve this team. So let's check out the market here. We have $35.73 million in cap space. Definitely a little room to make some damage here. No need to look at quarterback. Let's take a peek at running back. So Chris Carson not getting any offers. David Johnson gets released here. I would love to bring one of these guys back. Chris Carson played really well for us. I don't see any reason to go any other direction. I'm going to give him a 1-year, $4 million contract. He doesn't love it. He doesn't hate it. If he gets other offers, good for you, dude. You played a great role for us, but we're not going to overpay either. And then at wide receiver, nothing too crazy here. Now, do keep in mind we have a couple of young players up and coming that we're very willing to give an opportunity to. Now, Robbie Anderson not currently receiving any offers. If we can get him back for cheap, it might make sense. Now, I don't think Jarvis Landry does make sense, though, because we've got kind of our short targets there. So no receivers here that I'm interested in. And then as we look at tight end here, Goddard's tempting, but I actually really like the idea of Nick Boyle. Not getting any offers. He's a blocking specialist at tight end. Baltimore didn't retain him. Now, I'm not going to give him a ton, but this allows us to have a really quality number 2 tight end that's going to just maul dudes while allowing us to keep Ian Thomas in the starting role that he played so well in. Nick Boyle did not like that offer, but he might not have an option. So then as we look at tackle here, which is our biggest need for sure after the Marcus Gilbert retiring, I'm keeping my eye here. Russell Okung, could it be realistic to bring him back? Maybe, maybe not. He only played 1 year here. Isaiah Wynn does not get kept in New England. Never really reached that potential as a former first-round pick. And then Mitchell Schwartz over there at right tackle is sitting there available. Would it be realistic to move him to left tackle? Definitely some interesting options there. But, you know, I'm actually leaning towards Isaiah Wynn. Schwartz is definitely tempting. I don't know how realistic that is to expect him at his age to switch over to left tackle and play at a high level. I think I'd rather sign an actual left tackle that's still young and could actually be a piece of the future here. It's somewhat of a prove-it deal. It's 2 years, $20 million. I think that's good market value for a guy that's still young, that is a former first rounder, that's, been a little inconsistent here, clearly, in New England. I think that's an excellent free agent offer. We are going to be the front runners for him, so that's going to be our left tackle bid. As far as the interior goes, I'm very content with who we have there. Greg Little's actually played really well at right guard, so I'm not going to look to upgrade that through free agency at least. We got $20 million left to spend. K'Wan Short is available, 33 years old, would be the third man, part of a rotation here. Definitely tempting. And then at linebacker, we do still have Demario Davis here for one more year. Shaq Thompson, but we desperately need some depth. Probably going to look on like day 3 at signing one of those guys. Corner, our starters are set. We maybe could use help in the slot with like an Avonte Maddox. I will say that Troy Pride, a 4th round pick from 2020, just did not really step up. You got Maddox and Haley sitting there. Definitely would be an upgrade, something we might want to think about. But at free safety, both Devin McCourty and Earl Thomas hitting the market here at 33 years old. For Earl Thomas, he can still play. That's our biggest need. I am more than willing to offer Earl Thomas the 1-year deal that he's looking for. This would be pretty big time. He has certainly regressed, but a 1-year, $12.5 million contract, I think that would be enough to lure him over here. He really likes it. I like that contract offer a lot. He can mentor Kenny Robinson as well. We're pretty good at strong safety. Maybe we'll talk to one of these guys in the later days here. I want to circle back to the D tackle spot because we could use a little depth. Nothing we need too bad, but giving K'Wan Short at least an offer here reminds me a little bit of when this team brought Julius Peppers back. Just one last little hoorah here before he retires. Kind of trying to ring chase now that this team is a real legit championship caliber team. So going to give him about what he's asking for. 1 year, about $5 million. I think that's fair. He's going to be a part of a rotation there, provide great depth and leadership for a guy like Derek Brown. At his age, the expectation is not that he's going to be some superstar. But we're going to go ahead and offer that. Let's see what contract agreements we can come to as we head to stage 2. We get the veterans, Earl Thomas and K'Wan Short, and we land Isaiah Wynn. What a week in which we patched up our 2 biggest holes that were on this roster that weren't even big enough to prevent us from winning a Super Bowl, but filling those with Isaiah Wynn and Earl Thomas, I'm pretty damn excited about that. And a little bonus here, Isaiah Wynn actually has an upgrade in the waiting. So with that star dev, he should be able to develop a decent bit there at left tackle. Still pretty young. Let's hit the market again. Don't have a ton of space left to negotiate. Nick Boyle is getting bought out by Buffalo, so we're going to pull out of that race. One definitely intriguing option here would be Chris Harris at 33 years old. Not getting any offers, and he's regressed. He's not quite what he used to be. He's a capable slot corner at this point in his career, but he does have that selfless, and we have all these X factors on this defense. That could actually be a really intriguing boost to this unit that's kind of filling out our holes with veterans on that side of the ball. But I love this idea, and honestly, at his age, to get $4 million to come in and try to win a Super Bowl, it's not the worst gig for him. So we're going to make that offer. That does push our cap space to the limits. We can always take a look and see if there's releases we can make as well for stage 3 here. But for now, we're going to go ahead and advance to stage 3. Fingers crossed here. All right, we land Chris Harris. This defense is going to be a blast. Whoa. And look out to anyone else in the league. If Chris Jones or Burns or Chin were to get an X factor, we definitely need to patch up that linebacker position. But man, this team is going to be rocking and rolling next year. Not bad for a team that didn't have a first or a second round pick this offseason. I am curious if there's any big savings we could have through releases. Graham Gano was not particularly good this year. We can clear up about $4 million in cap space if we did decide to move on from him. There's definitely some depth that we could fill out through free agency if we were to do that. But for now, there's actually some of these guys that have just crazy high contracts getting signed from the practice squad right now, so I'm going to go ahead and release those. I think it's time we let Corn Elder go, and that's going to clear up a few $1 million in space. Let's see what we can do with that. If we withdraw our offer to Chris Carson, it's going to put us close to $10 million to finagle with here. So Robbie Anderson not receiving any offers at the moment. I actually think it's worth trying to bring him back just on a one-year contract and a pretty cheap one, because I'm not sure that Anthony Schwartz is quite ready to step up into that outside role. It'd be nice to keep that continuity if we can. We did miss out on Boyle at tight end, so maybe we can get Vance McDonald on a really cheap veteran contract here just to provide that tight end depth, a good run blocker. He really does not like that offer. Just in an effort to get some linebacker depth, I'm going to make an offer to David Mayo. I believe he began his career here in Carolina, so a 3-year pretty low contract there, but we'll round out his career where he started it. Keyz White would be a great backup to Shaq Thompson, a good special teamer. A 2-year offer for him. He does not love it. And then I'm going to offer what we do have left for Chris Carson. You should have taken your offer earlier. I don't expect any of these guys really like these signings, but you never know. Sometimes you lowball them and they take what they can get. And we're going to end up just getting Robbie Anderson here. So we are going to have a little bit of money to spend in the preseason. Definitely got to make sure we got all these linebackers scouted, because that's going to be the thinnest position group on our team. Them and tight end. Let's go ahead and do this draft. Again, no first or second round picks. Not going to be looking to trade up or anything like that. We've given up a lot of draft capital. We want to use the picks we do have to really fill out the margins of this roster. I am curious who goes first overall. Brock Purdy, a new Steelers quarterback, and the Chiefs get the second overall pick with Patrick Mahomes at their quarterback, and they're going to get Derek Stingley thanks to that. Wow. All right, so we're going to skip all the way ahead to the 3rd round for our next pick. So the linebackers we have scouted, not really standing out to me. The best option would really be this Jordan Cole, who would fit that Keyz White prospect that we almost tried to sign there. So I think that's the move right there. Get some linebacker depth. He's got normal dev, but good speed. He's going to be a special team threat. Decent coverage. He can play if anything happens to Shaq Thompson at that weak side linebacker spot. So I like that pick. He might even turn into a starter. We'd be a little undersized, but starter next to Demario Davis, or at least a weak side linebacker in our 4-3 base defense. So a nice piece to have. And then at the end of the 3rd, there is a big bruising back here that we could definitely think about. Could he be like a Tevin Coleman with a 4.45 40 coming out of Indiana? Or an A.J. Dillon type, 6 foot, 235 out of Boston College? A couple of intriguing options there. As I look at tight end, I do see a guy that looks like he's probably a pretty good blocker. 6'7", 265. Run blocking makes the cut on his scouting report for top skills. I'm definitely targeting him. I think we can wait around to get him, though. And I think Samson Jones is going to be the pick here. And he's going to have hidden dev. Not quite the power threat that we might have hoped we were getting. But he is a really good running back. Good receiving back as well. Probably going to be more of a Christian McCaffrey relief pitcher than the sort of pound out the end of games back that we're looking for. But definitely a good player getting brought in here. We're going to go to our next pick, hoping we can get that tight end. And there he is, the top tight end on our board. And there you go. That's all we were looking for, was a good blocker. He doesn't need to compete for a starting job, but a good number 2 tight end. I'm really liking this draft right now. This offseason in general has just been pretty remarkable considering the picks we gave up to go up and get Trevor Lawrence. So we could double down on a power back. There's actually another Boston College back, but he's got a 4.7 40 time. I don't know if we want anything to do with that. There's one out of Marshall here. We could use another receiver on this roster. And this receiver actually getting the best grade. He's got good catching, kind of a physical outside receiver. Not the fastest guy, but he's not really a skill set we have. So I'm going to go ahead and take a chance on him. He's got hidden dev. Not the ideal athlete, but really good hands. Actually, not as good hands as you might expect. But just kind of that physical guy that we might be lacking here. So I do like that pick. And hey, he's got hidden dev. And then in the 6th round here, I think I am going to take a chance on one of these running backs. We got a Georgia Tech power back, Boston College, Marshall. Really just throwing darts at this point, even California here. This guy's got a better broad jump, a little younger. Let's take a chance on Christopher. Whoa, my goodness. Was not expecting that, but we just found our Chris Carson in this draft. Oh my God. What a steal. That was just a total dart throw, and it totally paid off. And then we got Mr. Irrelevant here. I'm actually thinking a kicker here to push Graham Gano. All the kickers are there. We didn't scout any of these guys. Let's just take Roy Denton, and it's not even going to tell us if he's any good. So we do have about $6 million in cap space if we want to spend it, which I definitely do. Going to bring in just some young, undrafted free agents, as teams do. So I'm going to go with Wan'Dale Robinson out of Nebraska. We'll see if he can compete at receiver. We definitely need some tight end depth. We drafted some good youth. I'm going to give Adam Shaheen a bit of a redemption 1-year contract here. Going to sign this Frank Davidson, 22-year-old left guard out of North Carolina. So a local guy. Do need some O-line depth. Same with this Sean Thomas. He kind of fits the big mauler mold that this Panthers team is aimed to develop around. Going to sign Harvey Amos out of Georgia Tech. We've got some edge guys, but a good run defender can fill the void left a little bit from Stephen Weatherly, who left us. We can actually still get David Mayo. He is asking for $2 million, but I do want to look at our kicker and see if maybe we can clear up that last bit of cap space. If our kicker we got is good. He's a 72, good kick power. It's going to be on that cheap 4-year deal. I think we should go on with this move and let Graham Gano go. Graham go. So that'll allow us to get David Mayo. And we're going to sign another undrafted rookie linebacker here. We only have 4 linebackers on the roster currently, so I want to make sure that room is filled out. And then the only thing really left to think about would be a strong safety. Daniel Thomas here in year 3 has been released by the Jaguars. I liked him coming out of Auburn. We're going to bring him in and see if he's got any juice in the tank. And that's going to be the episode. This is definitely going to be a fun one, a long one. Please do hit that like button down below. When we come back, we are going to get through the preseason, make our cuts, and kick off this season in which we are looking to establish a dynasty here. We have not been able to say that in any of our rebuilds, but my goodness, this has been just an excellent team-building experiment here. And the guys we've brought in have really played well. Hoping that continues this year. We don't get a Super Bowl hangover. Again, hit that like button. Cheers as always, guys, and we'll see you for the next one. Peace out.